Chapter 26. There was an old ruined wall near the well. Next evening, when I was coming back from work, from a distance I saw the little prince who was sitting on the top of the wall swinging his legs. I heard that he said, "Then you don't remember. It is not the same place." Perhaps another voice answered him because he said, "Yes, yes, that is the same day, but the place is different." I came closer to the wall, and I didn't see or hear anybody. However, the little prince replied to somebody again. "Exactly. You will see where I started my way in the desert. You don't need to do anything. Just wait for me at that place. I'm going to be there tonight." I was just in 20 meters from the wall, but I couldn't spot anything. After being silent for a while, the little prince started talking again. "You should go now," said the little prince. "I want to climb down the wall." Then I looked down the bottom of the wall, and I jumped up. There, just in front of me, one of those yellow snakes, which can kill a person in just 30 seconds, was looking at the little prince. Even when I reached for my revolver in my pocket, I stepped back in fear. But when the snake heard the noise I had made, like a fading stream of a fountain, it slithered through the sand and without any rush disappeared with a slight metallic sound. I was just in time near the wall to catch my little prince. His face was as pale as snow. "What does it mean?" I was really worried. "Why do you talk to snakes?" I loosened a golden tie that he was wearing all the time. I wetted his temples and gave him some water. I didn't dare to ask him any questions. He looked at me seriously and wrapped his arms around my neck. I felt how his heart was beating as if he was a dying bird which had been shot with a rifle. "I'm glad that you managed to find the problem with your engine," he said. "You can go home now." "How do you know?" I was just going to tell him that the repair had been successful, even better than I had expected. He didn't answer my question, but he added, "Me too. I'm coming back home today." Then he said sadly, "It is much further, much more difficult." I understood clearly that something extraordinary was happening. I was holding him tightly as if he was a little child, but still it seemed to me that he was rashly flying into the danger that I couldn't keep him out of. He looked very serious, as if he was lost or wandered too far. "I have the lamb and the box for it, and the rope." He gave me the most tired smile. I had waited for a long time. I had been watching him recovering. "My darling child," I told him, "you are scared." He was scared. That was without any doubt. He laughed lightly. "I will be more scared tonight." Again, the feeling of something irreparable happening gave me the creeps. I knew it was hard to realize that I would never hear this laugh any more. For me, it was a source of fresh water in the desert. "Child," I told him, "I want to hear your laugh again." But he replied, "Today is a year since. My star will be just above the place where I arrived on Earth 1 year ago." "Child," I said, "tell me that this venture with the snake, the meeting point, and the star is just a bad dream." But he didn't respond. Instead, he said, "Yes, important things are invisible. Yes, I know. The same as with the flower. If you love the flower that lives at the star, then it is pleasant to look in the sky at night. All the stars are full of flowers. Yes, I know. The same as with water. Due to the pulley and rope, the water you gave me to drink was like music. Do you remember how tasty it was? Yes, I know. You will look at the stars at night. Everything is so small where I live that I can't show you how you can find my star. It is better like this. My star will be just one of many stars for you, and you will enjoy looking at all the stars in the skies. They will be all your friends. Besides, I want to give you a present." He laughed again. "Oh, little prince, dear little prince, I enjoy listening to this laugh. This is my present, only this one. It will be the same as when we were drinking water. What do you want to say?" "All people have stars," he replied, "but they mean different things to everyone. For travelers, the stars are guides. For everybody else, they are not anything more than small lights in the sky. For the scientist, they are problems. For my businessman, they were the source of his wealth. But all those stars were silent. Only you will have stars not like all the others." "What do you want to say?" "I will live on one of those stars. I will laugh on one of them, And when you look up in the sky, it will seem to you that all the stars are laughing. Only you will have the stars that can laugh." And he laughed again. "When you stop mourning, time cures all the troubles. You will be happy that you knew me. You will always be my friend. You will want to laugh with me. Sometimes you will open windows to enjoy the laugh, and your friends will be at a loss when they see that you laugh while looking at the stars. And you will say to them, 'Yes, I always laugh when I look at the stars.' And they will think that you are crazy. It will be a very snide trick that I performed on you." And he laughed again. "It will be as if, instead of stars, I gave you a lot of bells that can laugh." And he laughed again. Then he quickly became serious. "Today, you know. Don't come," said the little prince. "I won't leave you," I said. It will look as if I am suffering, as if I am just about to die. Something like this. Don't come to watch this. There is no need. I won't leave you." But he was worried. "I am asking you this because of the snake. It shouldn't bite you. Snakes are evil creatures. It can bite you just for fun. I won't leave you." But I had the idea that could persuade him. Actually, they won't have enough poison for the second bite. That night I didn't notice how he had left. He walked away quietly. When I got up to him, he was walking fast. He said simply, "Oh, you are here." He took my hand. He was still worried. "You shouldn't have come. You will suffer. I will look as if I die, but that is not true." I didn't say anything. "You see, it is too far. I can't take my body with me. It is too heavy." I didn't say anything. "I will become an old abandoned cover. There's nothing sad in the abandoned cover." I didn't say anything. He was silent for a little, and then he tried again. "You know, everything will be excellent. I will look at the stars, too. All of them will be the wells with rusty pulleys, and all stars will be as water for me, which flows and I can drink it." I didn't say anything. "That is funny. You will have 500 million small bells, and I will have 500 million wells with fresh water." He didn't say anything more because he started crying. "This is the place. Let me go further by myself." He sat down because he was scared. Then he said again, "You know I am responsible for my flower. The rose is so weak. It has 4 thorns to protect itself from the whole world, but that doesn't help much." I sat down as well because I couldn't stand any longer. "Right now, everything will stop." He still hesitated a little. Then he stood up and made a step. I couldn't move. Only a yellow line could be seen near his ankle. He froze for a moment. He didn't give a cry. Then he fell down calmly like a tree. There was no noise because he had fallen on the soft sand. Chapter 27. 6 years have passed since then. I have never told this story before. My friends who met me on my return were very glad to see me alive. I was sad, but I told them I was tired. Now my grief has calmed down a little, but not completely. But I know that he came back to his planet because I couldn't find his body at dawn. Actually, it wasn't so heavy. At night, I like listening to stars. They resemble 5 million small bells. But there is one important thing. When I was drawing the rope, I forgot to draw a leather belt. The little prince will never be able to fasten it to his lamb. I keep thinking now, what is happening on his planet? The lamb may have eaten the flower, but at that moment I say to myself, of course not. The little prince covers his rose with a glass shade every night, and he watches the lamb carefully. I feel happy then, and the laughter of stars seems so nice. But another time I say to myself, in particular moments we are distracted, and that is enough. One evening he may forget about the glass shade. The lamb may go outside quietly. Then the small bells change into tears. But no matter what happened, it is a mystery. To everyone like you who love the little prince, and to me, the world can't be the same anymore if somewhere, nobody knows where, there is a lamb, which we have never seen, who has eaten a rose. Look in the sky and ask yourself, is it true? Has the lamb eaten the flower? And you will see how everything has changed, and not a single adult will understand that it is a very important matter. For me, it is the nicest and saddest scenery in a whole world. It is the same as on the previous page, but I drew it again so you can memorize it better. The little prince arrived on Earth at this exact place, and he disappeared here too. Look at it carefully, so you can recognize it promptly if you happen to travel across the African desert. If you are at the exact same place, I will ask you not to be in a hurry. Wait for some time under the star. And if a little laughing man with golden hair who refuses to answer your questions appears, you will figure out who he is. If this happens, please set my mind at rest. Let me know that he came back.